Welcome to Mini Metro and my attempt at the daily challenge on Monday, July 24th, 2017. Today's daily challenge is Melbourne on normal mode. Goodo. Let's try Melbourne. Oh yes, I like Melbourne to the degree that I like the filled in shapes. I think they look very nice compared to the more standard shapes. Now, apparently, if memory serves me correctly, the trams in Melbourne are slow. But it is a lovely city. I've been there at least half a dozen times, if not more. I lost track how many times I visited Melbourne when I was in Australia. It's a wonderful city. It's well worth visiting. Well, good, that helps. So if you ever get the opportunity to go to Australia and you get bored of the idea of Bondi Beach and the Sydney Opera House and a couple of other things around Sydney, go to Melbourne. It's a lovely city. I highly recommend it. Not that my recommendations are probably meaningful to you in any way, shape or form, but like I said, I went there at least half a dozen times, possibly up to a dozen times. And I had a great time every time I was there. It's a beautiful city. It's not probably as nice looking as Adelaide. I will take bridges while I get the opportunity at this occasion. Adelaide was a much prettier city, as far as I was concerned. But Melbourne, well, apart from the wonderful, if you've ever seen the TV show Underbelly, which is possibly the best crime drama I've ever seen produced out of Australia. They do some good crime dramas in Australia. But if you've ever seen Underbelly, you'll know there is a seedier, steamier side to Melbourne. However, there is also a wonderful architectural and really nice people side to Melbourne. Interesting how it's doing this to me. This is on fast mode. Okay. Feels like normal mode. Well, so not mode, but fast speed. Interesting once again. I will do... Oh, not quite that. I meant to do that. Another tram. Take a carriage or a couple of bridges, and bridges are always useful. I'll do that one like that. And because I have a spare tram or two, and unlike yesterday's daily challenge, at least these trams carry 6 passengers, whereas Cairo, which was yesterday's daily challenge, they only carried 4, which I didn't realise until I was partway through it, and struggled because of that fact. Because if you're only carrying 4 passengers per tram, then you really need to consider using multiple lines and shorter lines. Okay, well, the green line's certainly becoming different. I say the green line, the light green line, because that's kind of greenish. Not entirely sure what colour you might call that, apart from disgusting. But it's kind of greenish in colour. Now the tram, right, this time I will have a line, thank you very much. If I do that, I'm going to get 2 circles in a row and the green line's going to be longer than I want it to be. I will do is that, then I will actually connect that to there, and can I get away from the sharp angle, please? Thank you. Let's at least put the circle on the orange line, it's between 2. Interesting. I will get a sharp angle there, or maybe I won't. I'll say put the circle between 2 squares, separate the 2 squares, but now I've got a circle and a triangle between the 2 squares, which is nice. just wondering where I should put the next tram. And I really could do with another line so I could split off this green line as it's starting to get a little excessive. But it is almost the end of another week. So we'll see what, I would say the good Lord, but the game provides. Okay, apparently it's not going to provide me with a line, which is what I wanted. So we'll give the orange line a carriage. And we'll give the disgusting coloured line another train or tram. And hopefully between the two of them that should keep everything relatively under control. And I still have the emergency pink line for when things go wrong. Where is that shape? Oh, it's down there. Okay. I really don't want to drag the orange line down there, but doing that to the light green line is not going to be good either. Okay, now I've got 4 circles in a row. That's really not a good line. Yeah, things are not going well on the light green line. Yep, truly not going well, so we will let the emergency train get in there and do something. Another tram, another line, thank you. Right. We will now bring that down to that length. The pink line is already in use, good, because I don't want to... Let's go around that way, and that way. We have an excess of bridges. Oh, that way, I want to continue picking you up, thank you. Then that way. That'll work for now. Now while I appear to be having a problem over here, although the orange line is going in that direction, so hopefully the orange line will sort that out. The pink line can sort that one out. Assuming I can actually stop the pink line. I tend to prefer using the pink line as my emergency line because it's highly visible. And being highly visible means that I know when I've actually got it in use. It's just a nice visual representation of the fact I'm in the middle of using an emergency line and train, which I may not always get with other ones. Okay, apparently I'm getting a load of the unique stations up that end. I will run you down that way. Once again, I can't seem to get rid of the pink line. Oh, that annoys me when it does that. They really, really, really need to move the control of the actual having the lines visible at the bottom and the X so they're not in the same place. That is possibly the most annoying and frustrating part of this game. Total. I don't think there's any other part of this game that I find truly annoying apart from that. Now, so far so good. It's not great with the amount of circle stations I've got down the bottom of this line, but that actually helps up there. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with you. We'll actually take a carriage and we will put said carriage on that tram. Hopefully, while we're here, we will put another train on this line, and I'll run the emergency line up to there. still have a spare tram, so go join the orange line. You go do that. And I won't say things are great, but things are not as bad as they could be. Four bridges, strangely enough. Well, you go deliver some more squares up to that station. Actually, I suppose in theory, and it probably would be a better option, is to do that. And then remove that one. Because that way the green trains are not dumping squares at the same place, and it requires one less bridge on the orange line, or no bridges on the orange line, so it works out rather well for me. Not perfect necessarily, but I'll run that down to there. Problem now. Surrounded by problems. Another tram. Take a carriage and another circle. Just not getting any luck in variation for the green line. So be it. We will do what we can with what we've got. Got is you. Let's run you over to there. Might as well. Oh, straight another circle. Some variation would be nice. I mean, literally, 3 circles together there, then a little bit of variation, 2 circles, a diamond followed by 3 circles. Now about to be 4 circles. Well, actually, wait till this train turns around. Some variation would occasionally be nice. With the best will in the world, there's only so much you can do if it just keeps dumping circles on you. Especially when the trams are this slow going around the whole course as well. I really could probably do with another line right about now, so I can untangle some of this mess. The orange line is behaving itself. The green line at this end will be behaving itself once that tram gets to the other end and picks up everything using its carriage. No, that will probably help. Oh, finally, a triangle. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Well, that's going to get me another sharp angle. A line. Good-o. Alright. Well, now, I think remove this chunk of this line. Come here. Well done. And have this pink line go from there to there to there. If I remove that end of that line, have having at that end go to the square, then I will use some bridges to go over there and shorten the green line. That makes the lines a whole lot shorter now. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to do to the current running of things until it plays out a bit. Run that down to there. Right, now I can't get rid of the yellow line. Ah, the controls on this game. If anything's going to stop me continuing doing the daily challenges, it's going to be the controls. And nothing, no other reason but the controls. I like the game enough that I will put up with a lot of irritations, but the controls are really starting to get to me again. And I just don't see the joy in having irritation thrown at. Oh, I don't mean to pick you up. Yes, I don't see the joy of having irritation thrown at you time after time and having to put up with it. I'll bring that one down to there. Games should, and as they normally are, be fun, and this is. But there's just one thing that truly drives me nuts, and it's the controls, or this control bar and how it's laid out. It's the one thing that really will destroy my joy of this game at some point. Okay, and that would be a problem area there, and there would be problem areas over here, and another circle up there is not going to help. And okay, there is definitely problem areas down this way, but I'm hoping we will take a carriage. You, my friend, have a carriage. Oh, you, my friend, have a carriage. Well done. Yes, and this end of the green line is now become the biggest challenge I've currently got. Apparently, I don't get interchanges. At least I haven't had one so far on this line anywhere. An interchange would be quite useful right about now, particularly for that square just there. Okay, everything's still technically under control for the moment. Not sure how long it can last, because to be honest, I have lasted longer than I had any right to expect to when I started this scenario. It's been such a long time since I've actually played Melbourne. Okay, where is the star? Oh, it's all the way up there. Okay. Something I wasn't aware of. Let's run that over to there just to keep it under control until the train gets there. I've got another circle because that's always going to be helpful. Run that up to there. Take care of the stars that are there. Again, this end of the green line is my problem area. So unless I get another carriage, I'm going to be pretty much in trouble with that. Good, I've got a carriage. You go that way. green line is about to go wrong. Oh good, I can still put another train on it, that's something. The pink line's probably not going to have a good day either. But I will clear as much of the green line as I can with the emergency train. Not sure if it's going to be enough. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Don't want to do that, I'll do that. Like I said, this has lasted longer than I expected. Not because I've done particularly well, it's just that it's been relatively kind to me in how brutal the scenarios have been. Where is the plus sign? I know I've seen the plus sign relatively recently. Now, oh, it's over there. Oh, yes, another circle out on the green line. Well, that's going to help. Oh! Controls! Getting irritated by the controls again. That's what I was looking for, was that to move those, a load of those plus signs from there to there. And another circle. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much coming to the end of this game. Too many things going wrong at the same time. Another carriage wouldn't hurt. Of course, I don't have any space for more lines, so that's why I'm not being offered lines at the end of each week. I hadn't realised that until I glanced down and noticed how many lines I had and how many there were available. See if we can get that under some kind of control fast enough. Followed preferably by that. Ah, let me stall. Yes. Once again, the controls are annoying me. And I don't think that's going to be enough to save me. Would be nice if I managed to reach 2500, but I don't think I'm going to do that either. Nope, not quite. 2493. Well, it's not a bad score. Certainly in the reasonable area. And I'm now just curious, having gone through that level of frustration with the controls. If I find Melbourne, there it is. That is my personal best on Melbourne, 2493. Yes, you get a total of 6 lines and slow but steady trains. Oh, okay, no wonder I wasn't expecting it to last quite that long, because it never has before. Anyway, that was my attempt at the Mini Metro Daily Challenge on Monday the 24th of July. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you down the road.